So in addition to running disk snapshots, you might want to run a full backup of a server. And this is really easy to do here in Azure. And there's a couple of different ways you can do it. So for example, you could come into the properties of an existing virtual machine. You could scroll down on the left. Under operations, you'll see this backup option. You could come in here. And if you don't already have what's called a recovery services vault built, you can build one on the fly. That's what they're prompting us to do here because I haven't actually built one of these resources just yet. So Recovery Services Vault allows you to run backups, manage backups for Azure virtual machines. You can also do offsite backups for your on-premises servers and store them in Azure using this service. You can also use this service to replicate systems from one site to another. But actually, it's really easy to set up and we can build it on the fly here. Now, sometimes you'll have a single vault that's storing backups for multiple servers. So you build that infrastructure first and then configure backups later on after the fact. So it's just a little bit of a different scenario when you set that up. So typically you'll have maybe one vault for a handful of virtual machines and store all the backups for those virtual machines in the same vault. So keep this in mind as you're building out your high availability design. And this is actually more of a disaster recovery scenario. So if you want to, and you need more details about this, I do have another course called Designing a Disaster Recovery Strategy on Microsoft Azure. And if you scroll down here under the data strategies for disaster recovery, there's a clip called Working with Azure Backup. And I take you through the process of going into the vault, configuring the backups, and taking a look at some of the other options there. But the cool thing about Azure Backup is it does support incremental backups of your virtual machines. You could run a complete virtual machine backup. It'll capture the OS disk, all the data disks, and then you've got your configuration options within these backup policies as well. So it's a great service. I encourage you to take a look at it. And with that, let's move to the next video. We'll talk about building highly available storage for database workloads that you might be running here in the Azure cloud.